Carl travels to the world of pirates and becomes the sworn brother of Locks, the vice-captain of the Locks pirates. God's Valley battle, defeated, imprisoned and pushed into the city prison. 36 years later, Luffy came to push forward the city. Carl. Since you're out, let's also fulfill Locks's dream and become the king of the world. Top of the battlefield. White Beard, Warring States, Capu, a few old guys, long time no see. Honeycomb Island. Blackbeard, do you dare to claim to be the heir of the will of Locks? Kai Duo, Lingling, it's time to return to the organization. Rafdru. Nika, the sun god. See the true power of the sun. Maria. 5 old stars. You 5 guys go up together. Kneel down. From today on, I will be the king of the world. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Men imprisoned for 36 years. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Impel. Also known as pushing into the city. The world's largest prison. It is located in the windless zone of the first half of the Great Route, with extremely tight security. The prisoners inside the prison are all vicious and serious criminals, and it is very eerie and terrifying. Inside, there are various monster prison guards and video phone worms monitoring, and outside the prison, there are also a large number of large sea kings wandering on the seabed, making Impur known as a copper wall and iron wall. Built hundreds of years ago. Only the legendary great pirate, Golden Lion, Shirji managed to escape from prison by breaking his own legs. The prison has a total of 7 floors. It is divided into 1 above ground floor and 6 underground floors. There are no prisoners on the ground floor. It is a place where criminals are baptized and interrogated before being imprisoned. There are also rooms where officers, officials, or special individuals check their belongings before entering prison. The real prison for prisoners is the 6 underground floors. They are the first layer of Red Lotus Hell, the second layer of Warcraft Hell, the third layer of Hunger Hell, the fourth layer of Burning Hell, the fifth layer of Extreme Cold Hell, and the 6th layer of Infinite Hell. The strength of criminals imprisoned at each level is different. Among them, the prisoners in the underground 6 floors of Infinite Hell are the most powerful. The criminals involved are all monster pirates that have been erased from history due to their excessive ferocity, each with a bounty of over 100 million yuan and a reputation that is close to legendary figures. But very few people know. There is also the 7th level, several tens of meters below the 6th level of Infinite Hell. There is no light here, not even a sound. The most terrifying punishment in the world is not torture or confinement, but being forgotten. So this layer is called Forget Hell. In the vast prison, only one person is being held. The dense sea tower stone chains tightly bound this person in the air, layer after layer, leaving only his head outside. After countless years of imprisonment, this man's face is withered and drooping with age. With his eyes closed and motionless, his breathing was extremely weak, as if he was about to die at any moment. But it is this man who has made the highest levels of government in the world extremely fearful, yet helpless. So, they built the 7th floor. They want this man to be in this unknown dark place. Feeling eternal loneliness and darkness, gradually forgotten by everyone in the world. Unfortunately, this man cannot speak now. Otherwise, he would tell his story to many people. His name is Carl. He is a traveler from Earth. That year, he was 24 years old. That year was 1469 in the Hyuan calendar. As a traveler, he naturally has golden fingers. God-level template system. He can randomly obtain templates for the heavenly and universal realms powerhouses. Good luck, one shot into the soul. I drew the Superman template from the DC movie, Superman. Iron body. Superman is very powerful. Superpower. Super speed. Super reaction. Super defense. Super healing ability. Super in short, it's just one word. Strong and invincible. And, to enhance one's strength, there is no need to go through hard work day and night. Just leisurely sunbathing every day can awaken one ability after another and grow infinitely. Unfortunately, it seemed as if he had run out of luck with a burst of soul. Just got the Superman template, before starting to develop, encountered a pirate. Just as he was about to die, he was rescued by another group of pirates riding on a small fishing boat. It's not appropriate to say it's a group. There is only one young pirate with a sun-like hairstyle. The young pirate told Carl that his name was Lox-D-Gibek, and he was the man who wanted to become the ruler of this vast sea and the king of the world. Then he asked Carl if he wanted to become sworn brothers and join his Lox pirates as co-captain to dominate the sea together. The title of Rox is naturally known to Carl, who has watched One Piece in his past life. In order to repay Lox's life-saving kindness and search for a place to develop, Carl did not hesitate and agreed to Lox's invitation. At the same time, he felt that the dream of dominating the world sounded very good. In this way, Carl became the vice-captain of the Rox pirates. Although this pirate group only consists of the captain and co-captain, it is only temporary. Time passes by. The Rox pirates have gained fame. We have successively recruited Golden Lion, Shurji, Whitebeard, Edward Newgate, Big Mom, Charlotte Lingling, waiting for powerful pirates to become the true kings of the new world. But Carl, who is familiar with the plot, knows that the Rox pirates may seem glamorous, but in reality, they have internal and external troubles, and even a slight mistake can lead to their disintegration. In the original work, the Battle of the Valley of God resulted in the expulsion of the Rox pirates. As expected. Heian Calendar 1484. When Carl was 39 years old, the Battle of the Valley of God broke out. The Rox pirates were defeated in battle. Captain, Lox-D-Gibek, lost to the joint efforts of Roger and Cap. Before death, he came to Carl's side. Let him succeed as captain, guard the Rox pirates, and fulfill their shared dream of becoming the king of the world. Carl agreed. Unfortunately, after only 15 years of development, although his strength has reached the imperial level, it is not invincible enough. Being outnumbered, he was defeated by the Navy Zifa, the leader of the Knights of the Gods, Fergaland Galan Saint, and the scientific defense god of the Five Elders, Jagalucia Satan Saint. Under the joint efforts of powerful digital generals. Because it is a superhuman physique, as long as there is sunlight shining, it can remain immortal. In addition, there are no kryptonites in this world, and he has almost no weaknesses. The world government forcibly gave him a demonic fruit in order to imprison him, creating a weakness. We are also promoting the construction of the 7th floor of the Qingda prison. Then he was firmly tied to death with a sea tower stone and imprisoned there. So, time passed by. The former Battle of God's Valley was covered up by the world government. Not many people remember the former Lox pirates. In the blink of an eye. Arrived in the year 1520 of the Heian calendar. At this point, it has been 36 years since the Battle of God's Valley. 51 years have passed since Carl traveled to this world. He is 75 years old this year. He is an old man whose life is about to come to an end, drooping with age. No accidents. Next, he will continue to be detained here until forever. But without accidents, accidents often occur. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Men who make world governments helpless. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Promote the city's large prison. The 6th layer is infinite hell. This layer, although not as dark and lonely as the 7th layer, is also dim and quiet. But today, But unlike the past silence, there were faint cries. Ace, 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 where are you? Rubber, rubber. Rocket launcher. The sound of running, shouting, fighting coming from the staircase at the entrance, getting closer and closer. Soon. Staircase exit. 3 figures appeared. A teenager. He is about 1.7 meters tall, wearing a straw hat, a jacket, shorts, and slippers, and has a scar below his left eye. It's Munch D. Luffy, the Straw Hat Kid. A young man. The hairstyle is similar to the plum blossom in playing cards. My hair is half orange on the left and half white on the right, and the clothes I wear are also half orange on the left and half white on the right. There is a lightning scar from my forehead to my right eye. It's the lightning bolt of Revolutionary Army cadres. A middle-aged person. He is very tall and has a huge face. There are unusually large dark purple explosive hair, long and thick eyelashes, light blue eye shadow and purple lip gloss. The attire is also quite peculiar. Mesh stockings and cloaks, tight and low-cut jumpsuits, revealing large skull tattoos on the abdominal muscles. It's Embryo Ivankov, the Demon King. The 3 of them arrived at the 6th level of Infinite Hell in order to rescue Ace, who was imprisoned here. Ace, I'm here to save you. Where are you, Ace? Luffy shouted anxiously. The sound echoed in the infinite prison, but there was no response for a long time. At this moment, there was an urgent sound in the dark corner of the cell not far from him. You are the Straw Hat Boy, Luffy. Mr. Ace has just been taken away and taken down the elevator to the ground. You go quickly, maybe you can catch up. Upon hearing the sound, Luffy was extremely excited. Although I don't know who you are. But thank you really, Uncle. After sincerely thanking, quickly ran towards the elevator. However, this is the underwater prison. The mechanism is densely packed and the defense is tight, making it easy to enter but difficult to leave. Kaka kaka kaka, the sound of chains spinning echoed in the quiet prison. The thick iron door fell down, sealing the elevator and stairwell completely. Subsequently, the pungent hypnotic gas was continuously released from the crevices. Lightning. Understand. Ivankov's face changed and he ordered Lightning to take action. The ability to cut fruits is activated, and the ground is cut like paper by Lightning, blocking the spread of gas, but this also blocks the way out. They are trapped on the 6th floor. Damn it. I finally found the news of Ace. But I'm trapped here. Luffy gasped for breath and roared with unwillingness. Although extremely anxious, powerless. Ah-ha, eh-ha-ha, eh-ha-ha-ha, deep and hoarse laughter appeared in the back of the cell. If you want to leave here, just let me go. If I help you, I can easily make a hole on the roof. How's it going? Straw Hat Boy, Luffy. 3 people turned their heads. After seeing the figures in the shadows clearly, I was surprised and spoke out. Are you? Shaw Croctor. Shaw Clockter. Due to acting as cold-blooded and cruel as a crocodile, it is also known as the Sand Crocodile. Former President of the Baroque Working Society, former King Xia Kuei. A person with natural sand fruit ability can freely manipulate sand and sand their body, making them incredibly powerful. After being defeated by Luffy, he was imprisoned and pushed into the city. Luffy instantly recalled his experiences during his time in the Kingdom of Alabastion. Despite being severely injured several times by Clockdale and almost dying, this person is still the culprit attempting to overthrow his partner Vivi's country. He is an extremely evil and dangerous pirate. Collaborating with him is like seeking skin from a tiger. Luffy didn't want to seek his help and release him. Luffy boy, let him out. Escaping here and saving Ace all require his help. Ivankov said, don't worry, he will help us. You're right, Crocodile Boy. Seeing Ivankov's face, Clodal seemed to think of something bad and spoke reluctantly, humph. I will naturally do what I promised. You'd better keep your promise, too. Because Ivankov had the handle of Krodel in his hands. In the end, both parties reached an agreement. Hello, are you going to save Mr. Ace? At this moment, the sound that had previously reminded Luffy also rang out again. I beg you all. Please bring me along too, I will definitely help you. I have known Mr. Ace since he first joined the Whitebeard Pirates. He always talks to me about your younger brother. I was imprisoned here because I opposed this war. I want to go save Mr. Ace. Even if you risk your life, it's okay. Please. Let me die a happy death. This series of words left a few people a bit confused. But when they saw the speaker's appearance clearly, they were once again surprised. Are you? Very flat. Very flat. He is known as the Sea Hero for his chivalrous and righteous conduct. Like Clockter, he is also the 7 martial Cs under the king, with extremely strong strength. In order to prevent a full-scale war between the Whitebeard pirates and the Navy, he was defeated by the Navy and imprisoned in the advancing city. Looking at the serious and sincere expression, Luffy remained silent for a few seconds before nodding solemnly, okay. I believe you. That's it. Clockdale and Shiping were both released. Seeing this, the other prisoners in the prison went crazy, shaking the railing like crazy. Hey, let me out too, I'll help you. Yeah, I would also be grateful to you. Let me out. I beg you all, let me out. I don't want to stay in this damn place anymore, it's simply not a place for people to stay. The piercing and crazy roar echoed on the 6th floor. Shut up. Don't think about it. I wouldn't release you guys who are extremely vicious. As a revolutionary army, Ivankov had his own code of conduct. Naturally, these heinous and ruthless pirates will not be released. Clockdale has a handle on him and won't mess around. Despite having a chivalrous reputation, he was willing to sacrifice his life to save Eskin and would not act recklessly. Others. Releasing it is a disaster. However, the madness of these prisoners also made him realize something. Now their team of 5, if they want to escape from the Jincheng prison, there shouldn't be any problem. But now I want to save Ace, that hope is very slim. As the commander of the Revolutionary Army, he knows too much about the terror of the Navy. In order to deal with the Whitebeard pirates, the Navy may have gathered all its forces. This situation has never occurred in history. They still need help. Wait. Suddenly, Ivankov froze. He remembered that when he was young, somewhere, the naval forces gathered were even more terrifying than this time. That place is called the Valley of the Gods. The Navy, the Knights of God, and the 5 old stars are all present. He doesn't know the reason why the Navy values it so much. But before leaving the Valley of the Gods, he clearly saw that numerous super powerhouses were besieging one person, and no matter how hard he killed them, he could only reluctantly take them away and secretly imprison them. Over the years, he has investigated this person. According to childhood friend Big Bear, intelligence was unexpectedly obtained on Future Island. The world government is highly likely to detain that person in the deepest part of the propulsion city and conduct human experiments on him. At this thought, Ivankov's expression lit up. With someone present, not only can he escape from prison smoothly, but he may also be able to rescue Ace. Moreover, he may indirectly help the Revolutionary Army share the pressure from the world government. Kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. The man who had been sleeping for decades woke up. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Luffy boy, wait. Ivankov suddenly spoke up, causing the others to stop moving forward. Ah, what's wrong? Luffy's face was puzzled. Do you really want to save Ace? I want it. I even dream about it. So, we also need a helper, a very powerful helper. Helper, who is it? I don't know. You don't know. Everyone was surprised. Ivankov was not surprised by their reaction. After all, the Battle of the Valley of God was all about 36 years ago. If he hadn't happened to be there at the time, he wouldn't have seen such a powerful person exist in the world. I don't know who he is, but he is very likely to be detained here. Hey, Ivankov, can this person really help us rescue Ace? Well, I believe so. Okay. I believe you. According to intelligence, he may be detained in the deepest part of the advancing city, with the 6th floor being the lowest level. Let's quickly search and see. For Ivankov, Luffy trusts him immensely. Not only because Ivankov was his father's companion, but also because of the time spent together. Wasting time. A guy without even a name. Ivankov, having me is enough. Clockdale snorted coldly. He doesn't want to stay in this place anymore. The longer you delay, the greater the difficulty of escaping from prison. And he also wants to arrive at the naval headquarters earlier. The Whitebeard pirates and the Navy are engaged in a full-scale war, and that man must be there. He's going to seek revenge. I think it would be great if multiple helpers could save Mr. Ace. Different from Clockdale. Although Sure Ping doesn't know what divinity Ivankov is talking about. But as long as he can save Ace, he thinks it's possible. Minority obeys majority. Clockdale didn't want to, so he followed everyone to find it on the 6th floor. I searched through all the cells on the 6th floor, but couldn't find the person Ivankov remembered. Isn't he here? It shouldn't be, this is the intelligence given by Big Bear. Ivankov frowned. Big Bear is his closest companion and will never deceive himself. Unless, Shawboy, use your abilities quickly and dig underground. Below, there may be another layer. 7th floor. Ivankov figured it out. Since there is a 5.5 layer between the 5th and 6th layers. So what about below the 6th floor? Is it possible? There is still a 7th layer. This 7th floor is the deepest point of advancing the city's prison. I want to take a look. Is there a 7th floor here? That guy, who the hell is he? Despite feeling unwilling. However, after agreeing to things with Luffy and others, Clockdale still meticulously completed them. Sha fruit is truly a divine excavation skill. In just a few seconds, he had shattered to a depth of over 10 meters. The 7th layer mentioned by Ivankov still hasn't appeared. Just as Clockdale was impatient and wanted to mock, he felt empty below. The sand in the pit quickly sinks and disappears. Soon, a pitch-black giant pit appeared with a diameter of 3 meters and a depth of over 10 meters. There really is a 7th layer. Everyone was shocked. The construction of the city has been advancing for hundreds of years. I have never heard of the existence of the 7th layer. Even the legendary great pirate like the Golden Lion, Shirji, is only imprisoned on the 6th level. So, who is imprisoned in this never-appearing 7th layer? Let's go, boys, go down and take a look. Ivankov was full of excitement and jumped into the deep pit first. He is feeling a bit excited at this moment. When I was a child, I accidentally caught a glimpse of that person's charm, which I can't forget to this day. It can even be said that his life was saved by that person. 36 years later, he was about to see again that God, who remained calm and aloof amidst numerous super powerhouses. Seeing Ivankov jump down, the others followed closely behind. They are very curious. What exactly is the person who can make Ivankov so excited? Soon. 5 people arrived at the 7th floor. After igniting the flames around. In an instant, stunned to the point of being unable to speak. In the vast prison, hundreds of sturdy sea tower stone chains are embedded in walls on all sides. Through the dense chains, they found a tightly bound figure in the air several meters above the ground on the 7th floor, with only one head exposed outside. Everyone was shocked. Who is the sacred one who can make the Navy blockade pirates by such means? Hello, Ivankov. Is this the person you're talking about? However, when he saw the person's appearance clearly, Clockdale was the first to mock. Hee, it's just an old man who's about to die, thank you for being a treasure. I carefully felt it and found that his breath was intermittent, maybe his life was not long. Sherpain was also somewhat disappointed. This. How did he become like this? Ivankov widened his eyes and couldn't believe what he saw. In this impression. That burly and handsome man, the difference is outrageous. Ivankov, when did you meet this person? Luffy also frowned and asked. 36 years ago. As if the idol was shattered, Ivankov felt a bit depressed. The peak of the average strong person is in their 40s. I met him 30.6 years ago, and even though he was strong at that time, he is now in his 70s. Ivankov, a strong man in his 70s, how strong can he be? It's a waste of time. Clockdale was very unhappy about digging up such a person after half a day of digging. But what he said makes sense. Even as strong as a white beard, in recent years, I have been plagued by injuries and illnesses, and my life is not long. For a moment, everyone fell silent. Even so, let's save him first. Ivankov always remembered that it was this person who descended from the sky during the rampant slaughter of the Tianlong people. This person is his life-saving benefactor. Lightning. Understand. The ability to cut fruits is activated. Wherever they go, even the chains of the sea tower stones have been cut. As thick chains fell to the ground, a loud sound echoed through the 7th floor. Suddenly, a weak and hoarse, yet incredibly majestic voice sounded in everyone's ears. You are very noisy. Upon hearing this sound, everyone froze. Quickly looking up into the air, the man was bound up in chains layer by layer. I saw that person. Slowly opening his eyes, he looked towards them. Even in the past few decades. In the golden eyes, there is still a dazzling brilliance like the sun shining brightly. Looking at these pairs of eyes, they look like gods. A few people, stunned. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Because I am a god. Find data. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Feeling confused and confused. Carl just felt a bit noisy in his ear. It seems like the voice of a person speaking, and it also sounds like the sound of metal collision. But no matter what it is. Since the defeat in the Battle of God's Valley and being locked up by the world government in the City of Advancements. Sound is a very rare thing for him. He no longer remembers how long he was imprisoned. I only know that every few years, a group of people will come here to collect a large amount of his blood. He knows. This is the world government. Using one's own blood for human graduate experiments. Because they want to know. Why can I have such a strong physique? More powerful than the legendary Lunaria tribe, known as the race of gods. Why can one achieve unlimited physical fitness and immortality as long as they are illuminated by sunlight? Even more outrageous than someone who has undergone eternal surgery. They certainly wouldn't know. Because of myself, I have a superhero template. So. Carl doesn't really care about being imprisoned. With a superhuman physique, he is already able to achieve immortality and immortality. Even if one dies in the process of imprisonment, as long as they are illuminated by the sun in the future, they can come back to life from death. Even if the world government no longer exists over the past century, it will still exist. His only regret was that he was unable to fulfill his brother.in.law's last wish. Lead the Rock's pirates. Sit for him, the throne of the king of the world. Ding dong 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 ding dong 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 beside my ears, the noisy sound still exists. Carl knows that it's those guys who came to collect his blood again. He is very tired now and doesn't want to talk to them. But the sound of ding ding dong kept going non-stop. Carl is getting restless. It's already like this, I can't even sleep soundly, right? With anger in his mouth, he said, "You are very noisy." Then he opened his eyes and looked at the newcomer. A boy wearing a straw hat. A human demon dressed in gorgeous attire. A gentleman with scissors-like arms. Ugly and robust, a fish man covered in blue skin. A gloomy man with a golden hook on his left hand, smoking a cigar. Ha! Aren't those guys wearing protective suits? Carl was amazed. He thinks this combination looks a bit familiar. However, the time interval was too long, and he also fell asleep for a long time, unable to remember. At this moment, the boy in the straw hat spoke up. "Hello. My name is Luffy. The man who wants to become the Pirate King." Luffy had a serious expression and introduced himself to Carl. He didn't understand why he said that, but the person's temperament made him feel like he should say it. "Scare, Luffy boy. Don't suddenly speak up." Ivankov was frightened. He knows too well the terror of the person in front of him. On the Valley of the Gods, that man was the one who hammered the naval general down on the ground. Luffy. Upon hearing this name, a distant memory floats in my heart. Carl finally knows who these people in front of him are. In the original work, members of the escape squad in the advancing city. From this, he also knows the current timeline of the plot. Top up in the early stages of the war. Luffy bravely advances the period of the city's prison. At the beginning of his imprisonment, he had fantasies about escaping or having someone rescue him and leave. A year has passed, 5 years have passed, 10 years have passed, 20 years have passed, I don't know how many years have passed. As time passed, he no longer held any hope. Even if Luffy and Blackbeard were to cause a big uproar in the original work, they could only find the 6th layer at most, unable to discover the 7th layer that should not have existed. Still unable to leave. But now, a few people appeared in front of him. He never expected that someone could actually find this place. "Hey, Grandpa, come out with us." Just as Carl was sighing, Luffy spoke again, very seriously. "What's the reason?" Carl asked curiously. Ivankov said, "Grandpa, you're a strong person. I was planning to save you and ask you to help rescue Ace. But now, looking at you, the old man, you have lived alone in this darkness for 30.6 years, and the rest of your life is probably not long. So, I want to help you get out. Let you bask in the sun, the last sun." Luffy gave a reason. This reason surprised everyone. Even Carl was momentarily stunned. He thought that Luffy and the others found him to help save Ace. If that's the case, Carl won't agree. His elder brother, Locks, was killed by the world government after being defeated by Roger and Cap together. Ace is Roger's son. Luffy is Cap's grandson. It can be said that the two of them are their own enemies. Now, let the enemy rescue him and then ask him to help save another enemy. He can't do it. But now, Luffy's answer is really unexpected. "Let me bask in the last sunshine. This is the future sun god Nika." Interesting. It's really interesting. Ha 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 ha, Luffy, right. Little ghost, I promised you. Carl laughed wildly. He only now knows why Luffy can get so much help from people. Why can he awaken the fruit that has not been awakened for 700 years? Because he is really, step by step, following his own wishes. The sage said. Only by integrating knowledge and action can one become the most outstanding person. Luffy, be a wise person. And he, Carl, should also be considered a wise person. Little devil. As an exchange, I will help you rescue your brother. What enemies are not enemies, 1 yard is 1 yard. After rescuing Ace, just kill Ace and Luffy together. It's best to die in front of Cap, so that he can also experience the pain of his loved ones dying in front of him. Lightning. Understand. Seeing Carl's agreement, Ivankov instructed Lightning to start cutting the chains on his body. At this moment, Luffy curiously asked, Grandpa, how do you know that Ace is my brother? Click. All the chains on Carl's body were cut off. After 36 years of separation, he finally broke free from his constraints once again. After landing, he rubbed his slightly uncomfortable body and looked at Luffy and others, grinning. Because I am a god. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. God, Carl, Seeking Data. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Superman in DC is known as the God of the world. So Carl claims to be a god, there's no problem. And this God was not something he said first. When he was in the Rocks Pirates, his favorite thing to do was to lie on the lookout and bask in the sun. After being exposed to the sun every time, one's strength will become stronger. Locks, Whitebeard, Golden Lion, and others have expressed envy more than once, stating that his physical talent is simply not like a human, he is simply a legendary god. From this moment on, he gained a new nickname outside of the co-captain. God Carl. Of course. Being called a god, there must be some people who are not convinced. For example, the later edition of the Imperial Sister Lingling and the Little Ghost Kai duo. Lingling is born with a steel balloon physique, unparalleled in defense, and coupled with soul fruit, she can achieve immortality. Kaido, on the other hand, originates from the ghost bloodline of the Lunaria tribe. He is naturally strong and can be called a monster. For him, only the Lunaria tribe is qualified to be called a god. He swore that he would find the bloodline of the Lunalia tribe and show Carl what a divine race is. Therefore, they all look down on Carl. However, after being beaten up by Carl for a few times, the two instantly became fanboys and fangirls. Lingling is arguing to have a child with him. Speaking of a steel body, a steel balloon, the child born must be unparalleled in the world. Kido is clamoring to fight Carl. Because his strength improves every time he fights, he constantly clings to Carl and sets surpassing him as his life goal. So, Carl gets annoyed when he sees two people. But it's so annoying, I'm really happy living in the Rocks Pirates. Carl, who was imagining the past, was pulled back to reality by a burst of cold laughter. After digging for half a world, but discovering such a thing, Clodel was already displeased and made sarcastic remarks. God. Don't joke. If you were a god, would you be imprisoned for 30.6 years? Would you look like you are now in decay? You're just a remnant of the old era. Others also shook their heads helplessly, thinking that Carl was joking. Carl's image at this moment is indeed a bit lacking. He has a hunched body and is as thin as a stick. Her face was withered, and only a few strands of hair fell off. Underneath the tattered clothes, ribs are clearly visible. Standing on the ground, his legs trembled and trembled, as if he was about to fall at any moment. The skin is colorless, frighteningly white, and emits a rotten odor all over. If it weren't for a pair of bright golden eyes and an unstoppable breathing, it would be no different from a corpse lying in the morgue. Shoo. Sir, the title, God, please don't say anything nonsense when you go out. Very friendly reminder. In this world, only Tianlong people can call themselves gods. They hide history, enslave everything, stand high and do whatever they want. Many people know what their virtues are, but due to the powerful military force of the world government, they dare not speak. But everyone knows. God, it doesn't exist, it's forged. Thank you, Grandpa. However, God is not a good person, so you should not call yourself a god. Luffy remembered Enelu, who claimed to be a god on the empty island but enslaved its people. He also remembered the Shampoo Islands, the self-proclaimed gods of the heavenly dragon people who slaughtered recklessly and did not regard other races as human beings. God. In his impression, they are all such people. Carl just smiled and didn't say anything about Clockdale's mockery and everyone's comfort. 36 years of imprisonment, 30.6 years of no light, and occasional large amounts of blood drawn, have caused him to be extremely weak now. But with the disappearance of the sea tower stone chains, he could feel that the power inside was gradually recovering. He looks very disheveled on the surface now, but his strength is not much inferior to his peak period. Saboi, shut up. Carl didn't care, but Ivankov became angry. He sternly reprimanded Clockdale. Because the person in front of him is considered his life-saving benefactor. He approached Carl and spoke with a deep voice, God. My name is Ambryo Ivankov, and I was one of the slaves you rescued in the Valley of God 30.6 years ago. Thank you for your help at that time. These are. Ivankov seriously referred to Carl as God. After introducing several others to Carl, he continued, May I know your name? The Valley of God. Upon hearing this long-lost place name, Carl was deeply moved. In the Valley of the Gods, the Knights of the Gods held a hunting competition to hunt the people of this country. The Rock's pirates led their crew to snatch 6 powerful demon fruits as rewards, and Carl took action to save many people. It's rare to encounter familiar people, and Carl, who has just gained freedom, is still very happy. You can call me Carl. The Rock's pirates, that's what everyone calls him. Carl. Others heard the name but were lost in thought. In their impression, they really don't remember a powerful pirate named Carl. Yo. Since Carl has been rescued, let's go. Luffy hurriedly went to rescue Ace and gave orders. After speaking, he glanced at the passage above him and turned his head to look at Carl again. Grandpa, let me carry you on my back, he said. Luffy really thinks of Carl as an old man about to die. It's also okay. Then I'll trouble you, Luffy kid. Carl didn't refuse and climbed onto Luffy's back with peace of mind. He agreed to help Luffy rescue his brother, so it's appropriate to ride him up. After all, saving Ace is a difficult task. Having read the original work, he knew that the Navy had assembled a lineup to deal with the Whitebeard pirates. Marshal of the Navy. Naval Hero. The 3 major generals of the Navy headquarters. Dozens of elite rear admirals in the Navy headquarters. 100,000 elite navies recruited from all over the world. Such combat power. Not to mention a single white-bearded pirate group, even adding a 4th Emperor pirate group may not be able to save Ace. Not to mention. The naval headquarters in Marinfando is very close to the Holy Land of Maria. The world government's top officials, such as the commander-in-chief of the entire army, the 5 old stars, and the Knights of the Gods, can provide support at any time. Even if he is Superman, it will take a considerable amount of effort. Rubber. Rocket launcher. Luffy's arms stretched out and he instantly reached the 6th floor, followed closely by the others. Proctor once again exerted his abilities and dissolved a large hole in the ceiling leading to the 5th floor. Wait a minute. Everyone was planning to continue moving forward when suddenly Carl spoke up. Ah. Grandpa, what's wrong? Luffy was in a hurry to save Ace, very anxious. Others were also puzzled, not knowing what Carl was going to do. Aren't you trying to save Ace? Help you find a helper. It's difficult to save Ace, we must be well prepared. Humph. What other experts are there on the 6th level besides me and Shirping? They're just some fake waste. Clockdale became increasingly restless. He feels like he's just a janitor now. Being commanded by Luffy is all that matters. After all, I have been defeated and even made an agreement. But what does it mean to be a dying old man with a big shot demeanor? Carl ignored Clockdale's mockery and began to sway on the 6th floor. One prison after another, he saw several familiar faces from the original work. The hope of Rain remains. Alvaro Pizarro, the king of evil governance. Xianyue Hunter, Katarin Daime. The giant battleship of San Juan, the hungry wolf. Big Wine, Basque Jot. Kazgaze only lingered on them for an instant before passing by. These people are all strong opponents with good strength, but it is far from enough to participate in the top-level battles. Finally, he stopped in front of a prison. After glancing at the tall figure in the shadow of the prison, he calmly said, "It's you. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Douglas Barrett. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Carl, are you sure he can do it? Luffy is full of doubt. After all, they had already walked through the 6th floor to find Carl before. If there were any powerful figures, Ivankov would have spoken long ago. This little ghost has decent strength. Looking at the prisoner in the dark shadow, a smile appeared at the corner of Carl's mouth. Is that right? That's great. Suddenly, Luffy became excited and said, "Lightning, please. Understand." Lightning began his cutting work. At this point, Clockdale couldn't bear to watch anymore. Hey! 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 Luffy, believe whatever this guy says. He looks like he's going to die, how could he know any expert? What a mess. Click. Lightning cut the chain of the sea tower stone. Thank you very much for rescuing me. A deep and terrifying voice emanated from the mouth of that figure. He stood up with a tall and burly figure, slowly emerging from the darkness and looking down at the crowd. "Oh, Crocodile, it's been a long time since we last saw each other. Is it you? Take a clear look at this person's face." Clockdale is stunned. He didn't expect to meet this guy again here. Ah. Clockdale, do you know him? Luffy asked curiously. The other few people were also very curious about who this person was. His name is Douglas Barrett. I used to be a member of Roger's Pirates. 24 years ago, he came to challenge me, and it was a tie. Clockdale has a profound memory. Because after this battle, he went to challenge Whitebeard and was cut off with one arm. As for Barrett, it is said that after Roger's death, he stirred the sea upside down, and his life and death are unknown. The crew of the One Piece. Still as strong as you. Great. Luffy looked at Barrett excitedly and said, "Hey, Uncle, are you willing to help me rescue Ace?" Ace. What's his relationship with Roger? Barrett remembers. Roger's love knife is Ace. He also said that if he had a son in the future, he would be named Ace. His father is Roger. Luffy smiled and spoke. As a crew member of the Pirate King, I'm sure he will go and save the captain's son. Silence. A long silence. Suddenly, Barrett smiled. Ha 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 ha, Roger's son. But I'm sorry, I don't plan on doing such a boring thing. Then, jokingly scanning the crowd, he said, I just want to fight now. The words have just finished. The terrifying aura swept across the 6th floor. Everyone feels like they are being targeted by ancient ferocious beasts. Clockdale's expression was serious and he spoke urgently, damn it. Get out of here. He remembered. Barrett's favorite thing is to challenge others everywhere and improve his strength. Joining the Roger Pirates is also to challenge Roger. He still hinted too late. Barrett has already taken action. He grabbed the lightning neck closest to him, lifted him up, and stared at everyone with a grim smile. I've been locked up for decades, and my hands are itching. Let's take you guys and heat up your hands. Damn it. Release the lightning. Watching lightning being caught, Ivankov was angry. Oh. Do you want it? Then I'll give it back to you. Barrett fiercely threw the lightning towards Ivankov. The powerful force instantly flew the two and smashed them fiercely into the wall. Hello. Uncle. We saved you. Luffy angrily shot out, rubber. Pistol. Stupid little devil. I'm a pirate. Faced with Luffy's attack, Barrett was too lazy to hide. When the attack arrived, he immediately took action, grabbed Luffy's arm, and then played with him like a yo-yo. Sir, let go of Luffy. Fishman Karate .5000 Wajin fists. Shirping made a move. This blow still has some meaning. Although Barrett said so, he had no intention of avoiding it. He straightened his chest to welcome the very flat fist, while also swinging his own fist. Bang! Two people hit each other at the same time. Barrett was pushed back a step, but was hit hard and flew out, bleeding from the corner of his mouth. Unfortunately, the strength is a bit weak. Barrett took photos of the hit area and was very dissatisfied. Speaking, he threw the Luffy in his hand towards Shiping, who was flying out. Suddenly, the two of them, like Lightning and Ivankov, were fiercely smashed onto the wall. In the blink of an eye. Lightning. Ivankov. Luffy. Very flat. All were knocked away. And Barrett was unharmed. Hello. Are you going too far? Clockdale witnessed all of this with a gloomy expression. Excessive. The law of the jungle. This world has always been like this. Barrett grinned grimly and quickly approached Clockdale, punching and smacking him away. Aha, am I afraid of you? Croctor refused to be outdone and punched back. The two fists collided. But in an instant, Clockdale's face changed. He only felt a powerful force attacking like a fierce beast. His fist was instantly shattered and turned into flying sand. Barrett's fist continued to punch towards his face without diminishing its momentum. Oh, I almost forgot. You are a natural person with abilities. Barrett casually spoke and swung his fist in the air, instantly covering it with a layer of armed aura. Clockdale, who had no time to dodge, was forcefully punched and flew away with a fierce blow. Looking at Clockdale embedded in the stone prison door of the sea tower, Barrett shook his head. Clockdale. You're really disappointing. The last battle between the two was evenly divided. Meeting again, Croctor is not the enemy of unity. Damn it. You guy. Due to being smashed into the sea tower stones, Clockdale couldn't muster any strength and could only become powerless and furious. He looked at the culprit behind all this and spoke angrily. Old thing. All of this is because of you. This speech reminded Barrett, who shook his head and smiled grimly. Oh, I almost forgot, there's another one. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. My name is Carl. Captain of the Locks Pirates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Alas, young people nowadays really don't understand respecting the old and caring for the young. Look, I look like this now. What qualifications do I have to fight against you? Cough. Watching Barrett suddenly staring at him, he said helplessly. In order to show that he was really weak, he pretended to cough twice and said, why don't you continue fighting that little ghost playing with sand? I think his strength is quite good. Clodal's mouth is too cheap. If it weren't for the temporary alliance now, Carl would want to slap him twice. You guy. Why did you bring me up? If you cause trouble yourself, solve it yourself. Carl's move brought disaster to the east and directly confused Crodel. He felt a sense of distress in his heart. Originally, when Barrett punched a child and knocked over Lightning, Luffy, and others, he still had a little joy in his heart. He was thinking, I finally have a chance to stand out. Tell me to dig sand. However, when Ping was slapped and sent flying, his heart thumped and he felt something was wrong. Is this Barrett so strong? But he thought for a moment. Decades ago, it was not without fighting him. There was a tie that time, and Barrett had been locked up for so long. Maybe there's still a chance to win this time. Can these guys see their own strength? Clockdale admits to having a gambling element, but unfortunately I lost the bet this time. He was also thrown away with a punch and froze in front of everyone. I'm stuck at the stone prison door of the sea tower now, and I don't have a chance to regain face. Suddenly, his eyes rolled and he came up with an idea. Barrett. This old man is imprisoned on the 7th floor of the previously unheard of, advancing city. You and the Golden Lion, Shurji, can only be imprisoned on the 6th floor. How powerful is he on the 7th floor? If you like to challenge the strong, go find him. Proctor has also become proficient in learning how to turn the tide to the east. Upon hearing this, Barrett became interested and stared at Carl with a passionate expression on his face. Interesting, interesting. Give me a punch, he said as soon as the words fell, the other person had already disappeared into place. When the figure reappeared, it had already arrived by Carl's side, with an armed and domineering right fist, unleashing its full strength. Damn it. Mr. Carl, be careful. Mr. Carl, be careful. Luffy, Shurhei, Ivankov, and others couldn't stop in time but could only sound a reminder. But they know. It's not very useful to remind. With Barrett's strength, such a weak Carl is no match at all. Hello. Barrett, you guy, stop it. Dealing with an old man with all your might. Clockdale's face changed as he looked at Barrett's domineering fist. He originally just wanted to use Barrett to teach Carl a lesson, but he didn't know this guy was going to give it his all. Although Carl was unhappy, he didn't want the old man who had just been imprisoned for 36 years to die like this. Ha ha ha, the weak have no right to live on this vast sea. Instead of letting you leave and die outside, it's better to stay in the city forever. Barrett ignored Clockdale and instead exerted his strength again, his pitch-black dominance like flowing water, pulling out dazzling and deadly threads with the swing of his fist. Armed colorful dominance. Flowing Sakura. Bang where the fist wind passed, more than 10 cells were bombed. The prisoners inside were killed by the fierce punching force before they could even let out a mournful cry. Luffy and others were completely stunned. How could Carl survive with such a terrifying punch? This pirate, who had been imprisoned in the darkness for 30.6 years, died before seeing the last sun in his life. Damn it. Grandpa Carl's walking is a problem, how did you do it? Do you also deserve to be called strong when it comes to dealing with the elderly, weak, women, and children? You actually killed my lifesaver, I won't let you go. Barrett, you're really going too far. They were extremely angry and planned to help Carl seek revenge. Suddenly, a familiar voice sounded in the diffuse smoke and dust. It's so close, so close. I almost died. The smoke and dust cleared away, and everyone saw Carl standing there unscathed, patting his chest with a face full of fear. Mr. Carl, you're okay, great. Seeing that he was fine, everyone hurriedly approached him and protected him behind him. Oh, you're worried, Carl grinned at the others. Then he glanced at Clockdale, who was standing in front of him with his right hand covered in armed colors and planning to attack Barrett, and said, Oh, you little devil playing in the sand, are you okay too? Humph. I'm not doing it for you. Barrett is crazy, we must do our best to stop him. Otherwise, we could all die here. Barrett is obsessed with war like his life. It used to be okay, I would choose a strong player with good strength, and even if I win, I would let the other party leave. Since Roger's death, he seems to have gone crazy, looking for people to challenge him everywhere, regardless of strength, age, life or death. Judging from his current state, he may not have a good brain. Barrett ignored Clockdale and even ignored the others, looking carefully at Carl behind them. My body is hunched, my bones are as thin as wood, my shape is withered, and my face is colorless. It doesn't look like a strong person no matter what. But it was this person who easily dodged a punch that everyone else couldn't dodge just now. This person is not simple. Hello. Who the hell are you? Looking at Barrett's extremely serious expression, Carl knew he couldn't continue to fool him. A strong person like this has a very strong perception ability. Ho 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 ho, it seems you figured it out. As he spoke, Carl straightened his chest and spoke seriously, former Roger's little devil, since you want to know, I'll tell you. My name is Carl. The current captain of the Rocks Pirates. Give you a choice, join me, or die here. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Have the ability to kill me. Without the ability to be beaten to death by me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Stop pretending. Showdown. I was originally planning to save you, let's talk to a friendly person about joining. I didn't expect you to come out and fight like a crazy person. Since that's the case, then as you wish. Go ahead. Carl is prepared to take action if Barrett's answer does not satisfy him. According to the performance in the original work, Barrett is only a mere general-level player. Even if his strength is not at its peak now, suppressing him is not a problem. He thinks so. But Luffy and others don't know. Upon hearing him say these words, I thought he had lost his heart and gone crazy, so I was scared and immediately stopped him. Mr. Carl, this person named Barrett is very strong. Please don't stimulate him anymore. Scared. Carl, please don't say anything more. Hee Grandpa Carl, your speech is really domineering. What's the use of domineering? Dominance depends on strength. As an unknown pirate captain, it's better to keep quiet. If Carl's identity. It's a well-known pirate group like Roger Pirates and Whitebeard Pirates, and they may take this statement seriously. The Rocks Pirates have never heard of it at all. A captain of an unknown pirate group, although I don't know why he was detained on the 7th floor, it's definitely not because of his strength. If it is truly powerful. Even hundreds of years after his death, his name will still be passed down on this vast sea like the sun god Nika and the dragon slayer Ryoma. Having the strength to say so is called domineering. If you don't have the strength to say that, it's called seeking death. Everyone anxiously tried to dissuade Carl, while also guarding against possible attacks in Barrett's anger. However, they were on guard for a long time. Barrett showed no signs of attack. He stood there, frowning tightly, pondering something. The Rocks Pirates. It sounds a bit familiar. Suddenly, he remembered. Back then, after failing to challenge Roger and joining the Roger Pirates, he proudly asked Captain Roger. With my joining, have we become the most powerful pirate group on this vast sea? Indeed. A pirate group with so many strong men like Roger, Raleigh, Barrett, and Jabba is unbeatable on this vast sea. Roger replied, no, it's not. There used to be a pirate group in this sea. Their crew members are all monster level. Strong enough to require the joint efforts of pirates, navy, and world governments to deal with it. This pirate group. He is the true hegemon of this vast sea. The current Roger Pirates are still far away from them, and may even never be able to surpass them. This answer surprised Barrett. He was very curious and continued to inquire about the name of the pirate group. Roger seemed to be lost in distant memories, sighing deeply before telling him the answer. Former Sea Overlord. The Rocks Pirates. The pirate group that Roger couldn't forget for a long time left a deep impression on him in his heart. After Roger the pirates left, he is searching for the traces of the Rocks Pirates on the sea. He wanted to see the charm that made Roger feel inferior to the pirates. He wants to challenge their captain like he challenges Roger. Years of searching yielded nothing. Unexpectedly, after more than 20 years, I saw the obsession in my heart on the 6th floor of the Jincheng prison. Ha 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 ha. Barrett regained his senses and looked at Carl, laughing wildly. So it's you. So you're here. I've been looking for you for decades, and today I finally found you. Come on. Come and fight. You're defeated, I'll beat you to death. I lost, just like challenging Roger back then, join your pirate team. In Barrett's eyes, the fighting spirit was raging. The raging momentum swept across the entire 6th floor. Feeling the immense fighting spirit, Clodel and his companions looked extremely ugly. Damn it. He's going crazy, we need to do everything we can to stop him, otherwise we'll really die here. Mr. Luffy, Mr. Lightning, please take Mr. Carl away first. Mr. Shaw, Mr. Ivankov, and I will stop him. Sure Ping is quite right. Luffy boy, Lightning, please take Mr. Carl away quickly. He is my savior, so don't let him die here. Oh. I will definitely let Grandpa Carl see the last ray of the sun in his life. Luffy knew that the situation was urgent, and the opponent Barrett's strength was not something he could handle. This time, he did not choose to be stubborn. But suddenly, Carl spoke. You know how to respect the old and love the young, Grandpa Carl is very happy. But inside, they don't believe me, Grandpa Carl is very disappointed. It's just an enemy with the strength of a mere general, and it's not worth using one's life to stop it. Let me do it. Carl stepped forward, intending to take action. Grandpa Carl, come with us. I want to see Ace, I want to see my friends, so I don't want to die here. You have been imprisoned for so many years, and in the final moments of your life, there must also be someone you want to see. Let's work hard to live on. Luffy is in a hurry. He said something that his brain would never be able to say. These words made Carl stop in his tracks. In her mind, figures appeared one after another. Treat him as his own younger brother, knowing that he is not like to be killed and never forced to be killed by rocks. Old cunning and cunning, yet extremely sincere towards him, pulling Shirji who taught him swordsmanship. I long for a family and hope to find Newgate, who is the head of the family like Carl, in the future. Lingling is chasing him to get married and have children. Kido, who kept fighting around him. Stussy, who coveted his steel body. The flame flower yearning for love. Shadow after shadow flashed through his mind. Yes. He still has people he wants to see. These people are all his family members in the Rocks Pirates. So. Standing in front of him, trying to buy time for them to escape, are there no people he wants to see, such as Shirhei, Ivankov, and Proctor? They also have it. I have someone I want to meet. We all have people we want to see. So, everyone must go out alive. Carl stepped forward again. With every step taken, one's momentum becomes stronger. After 7 consecutive steps, he had already crossed the path where he was intimidated by his momentum and flew a few people to stand in front of Barrett. After a faint glance at him, he spoke calmly. Use your all, otherwise you will die here. Looking at Carl in front of him, Barrett felt a hint of unease in his heart for some reason. This kind of premonition has only appeared when challenging Roger. But at that time, his strength was more than one level inferior to Roger's. With his current strength, even if he dares to speak up and challenge the 4th Emperor, there will be no bad feelings. Can you say that this guy is even stronger than the 4th Emperor? Barrett looked at the thin and elderly figure across from him, incredulous. Will this guy who is about to die really be strong? I don't believe it. I don't agree. I, Douglas Barrett, am the descendant of the devil and the successor of the devil. I don't believe it, I'll die at the hands of an old man. Ha ha ha, if you have the ability, just kill me. If you don't have the ability, you'll be beaten to death by me. Come on. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Let me run. He doesn't deserve it yet. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two sides collided in momentum. The surrounding light and shadow are twisted, flickering with brightness and darkness. Like a solid black lightning suddenly appearing, emitting a piercing hiss, destroying everything wherever it goes. The ground and walls began to crack, and huge cracks spread. Hush, so strong. What is this black lightning? It's so terrifying. Is this Barrett's full strength? If it continues like this place may collapse. Clockter and a few others, although they are all from the 7 Martial Seas, have the level of disaster stars. But there were countless chasms between them and the top superpowers in this vast sea, and they couldn't even recognize the lightning effects unleashed by the collision of their dominant colors and aura. They thought this was the result of Barrett's full strength. As for Carl, no one will feel it. An old man who can't even walk has such powerful strength. This is very unscientific. They still wanted to stop, but under the impact of this momentum, they felt a little fear in their hearts. The two are about to face each other. Suddenly, several heads emerged from the previously opened hole leading to the 5th floor. Then, a sound came. Report, found target. The Straw Hat Luffy escape team is here. We'll hold them down first and request the support of the main force. As soon as the words fell, dense gun barrels filled the void, and flames suddenly appeared. The prison guards in the advancing city, knowing the danger of the group of jailbreakers like Luffy, opened fire without saying a word. A dense stream of bullets poured down towards the crowd. Fortunately, there is a tall Barrett's body blocking it. Most of the bullets were directed towards him. Seeing the arrival of the Navy, Barrett felt a sigh of relief for some reason. He is obsessed with war, but he is not a fool. In the moment of confrontation, he clearly felt the endless energy contained in Carl's dying body. Now, I have just been released from prison and my health is not yet at its peak. If the battle really continues, his sixth sense tells him that he may die. Fortunately, the prison guard arrived in time. Give him a reason not to fight. He needs to kill more people and regain his combat experience before being imprisoned. So, as he fiddled with the incoming bullets, he spoke arrogantly. Humph. What a annoying thing. It seems that this battle will be postponed. Once we leave the advancing city, let's have another big battle. Carl nodded when he heard this. Bullet shooting has little effect on a strong person like him. But he scanned the floor and walls of the 6th floor. Cracks have appeared one by one, and if we continue, the 6th layer may collapse. As an earthling in my past life, although I am a pirate in this world, I have never killed anyone indiscriminately. He doesn't want these extremely vicious pirates to escape from prison and harm civilians. Sure. Carl's overall aura disappeared. Restore the previous hunched appearance. That's good. I'll go deal with these annoying things first. Barrett didn't stop either, jumped and braved a barrage of bullets, disappearing into the 6th floor. In no time, from the 5th floor, intense fighting could be heard. Seeing him leave, Luffy and others breathed a sigh of relief. He finally left. Prisoners, you came just in time. Yeah, if you come a little later, Mr. Carl and us might already be gone. This guy is truly known as the descendant of the devil, exerting all his strength and almost causing this place to collapse. It's truly terrifying. Hey, Clockdale, how did you draw with him before? Everyone else is so strong, how did you mix up like this? The topic was chatting and then returned to the sand crocodile. He twitched at the corner of his mouth, too lazy to bother with Ivankov's cheap expression, and said, "Don't delay any longer. The guards have already discovered us, and now that this guy is leading the way, let's follow along." After speaking, he transformed into a raging sand and rushed upwards. Cluck cluck, this guy didn't argue anymore. It seems that he has really been stimulated. Ivankov shook his head and then looked at Carl. "Mr. Carl, I know you used to be very powerful, but now you're old. When you encounter a powerful enemy like Barrett, it's better to just run away. Don't fight him after leaving the advancing city. We will create an opportunity and you can leave directly." Who is the most powerful on the sea? 4 emperors. General. No. None of them. But it's time. No one can resist the harm brought by time. Strong as a white beard, now plagued by illness. Strong as the Capu warring states, now just an old soldier. Even if you were so strong when you were young, now you are just a dead bone and decaying wood in the grave. Do you want me to escape? I am the captain of the Lock's pirates and won't escape. Carl shook his head. Now, he is the only one in the Rock's pirates. If he runs away, the spirit of the Rock's pirates will be completely shattered. Say it again. It's just Barrett. The guy who can be defeated by the strongest duo of 4 teams in 2 years, including Luffy, Empress, Ro, Clockdale, Sabo, Smog, Bucky, and Luke. Should he run away? He is not worthy. Of course, there is also a reason why we must fight. After experiencing the Battle of God's Valley, the Rock's pirates fell apart, and now he is the only one left. He promised to revive the Rock's pirates and ascend to the throne of the world. So, crew members are needed. Previously, the members of the Rock's team, whether they were the current 4 emperors Whitebeard, Big Mom, Lingling, or others, he was ready to come knocking on them one by one and bring them back. But only these people are not enough, we still need to recruit new crew members. As a crew member of his Locks, his strength naturally cannot be too poor. Barrett, the former crew member of One Piece Roger, is a very suitable candidate. However, these words fell in the ears of a few people, as if the old man Luo Ji was stubborn in the end for the sake of face. A few people exchanged a glance and said nothing more. From Luffy's back to Carl, he began to advance towards the upper level. The 5th level prison in the city is called Extreme Cold Hell. The prisoners confined on this floor are located in an environment that is even colder than a large ice storage facility, with severe frostbite to their bodies until death. In the forest of extremely cold hell, there are also a large number of military wolves, who are very powerful and extremely cruel. However, Luffy and others are walking here now, but they have not encountered any danger. Because along the way, the ground was covered with corpses. All the prison guards and military wolves were defeated by Barrett, who left first. They once again realized the terrifying strength of him. This guy is really terrifying. Yeah, let's stay away from him so he doesn't keep an eye on us anymore. Coincidentally, let's go to my newbie demon park together, change into warm clothes first, and then set off. New Human Demon Paradise. It is a floor created by Mori, one of the 4 commanders of the Revolutionary Army, with the ability to push fruits. Inside live the human demons created by the fruit of Ivankov's hormones. Located between the 5th and 6th floors. The location is very hidden, not even the prison guards who pushed into the city know. Here a few people changed into warm clothes. Carl changed into a casual outfit. But he always feels like there's something missing. Immediately, he thought of it. It's a cloak. Superman Clark has a cloak. One Punch Superman Chiyu also has a cloak. If Carl didn't have a cloak, would he still be called Superman? It must be arranged. So he put on a naval cloak of justice. Walking on the passage to the fourth floor. Luffy, Ivankov, and others looked at Carl's cloak and felt very uncomfortable. After all, they are all pirates, a group of escaped pirates. Suddenly seeing a navy appear in the team, it feels really uncomfortable. Fortunately. Feeling uncomfortable in the heart, not in the body. From the fifth layer to the fourth layer, and then to the third layer, no enemies were encountered. All the way, there were corpses of prison guards. The power of Barrett is terrifying. Their team has also become increasingly large. The human demons following in the new human demon kingdom. Mr. 1 rescued by Clockdale. Mr. 3 Xiaofeng, whom I met by chance. However, as they arrived at the second world of Warcraft Hell, countless figures surrounded them, followed by a terrifying and eerie sound. Hee hee, haha, haha, have you finally arrived? It's been a long time waiting for you. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. I'm going to represent Captain Roger and see you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Not encountering enemies for several consecutive layers made Luffy and his team relax a lot. The sudden eerie sound and dense encirclement made their expressions change. Hee hee, surprise. Fear. Here, it will become your hell. The terrifying and eerie laughter echoed in the empty second layer, making it difficult to guess where the enemy was. Damn it. We've encountered the enemy. It seems that a big war is inevitable. Straw Hat Boy, Lightning Boy, there are too many enemies. Please protect Mr. Carl. Ivankov, Sherhei, and Clodel are ready to take action. Luffy furrowed his brow. He felt the sound and the encounter was somewhat familiar. It's like being surrounded in that circus in the East China Sea. In an instant, a figure came to his mind. Then he grinned and shouted ahead. Hee, hello, Bucky. You're also here. It's been a long time since we last saw each other. As soon as Luffy said these words, the eerie and terrifying voice suddenly stopped. In the crowd, a head flew out and after seeing the faces of several people clearly, it became furious. Are you? Straw Hat Luffy. Damn it, how could you be here? The person who came is Bucky. While searching for treasure on the Great Route, he accidentally entered a naval base and was arrested, imprisoned in the City of Propulsion. Because he concealed the ability of the demon fruit, he successfully escaped from prison. But not long after, he was discovered by the prison guards, and just as he was about to be arrested, Bar had reached this level. They have both been in the Roger Pirates and are old acquaintances. Barrett took action and helped Bucky out of his predicament. Then tell Bucky that there are a few tough guys behind. Bucky thought that the tough guy Barrett was talking about was the prison guard or navy chasing him. So, he proposed dividing the troops into two routes. Barrett continued to advance towards the first level. He released a large number of prisoners, took them as his younger brother, and ambushed here to give them a surprise. Isn't that surprising? Watching Luffy grinning, Bucky felt both angry and helpless. Angry that this guy defeated him in the East China Sea, he even planned to seek revenge from Luffy. Unfortunately, the straw hat that Luffy was wearing belonged to Captain Roger. And Roger adopted him and raised him from childhood to adulthood, treating him as a father-like relative. Roger's will inheritor, how could he harm it? Damn it! Straw Hat Luffy. How dare you appear here? This is the Jincheng prison. People will die. Bucky is very anxious, afraid that Luffy will die here. I'm here to save Ace. Have you seen Ace? Ace. Which Ace? My brother, the captain of the Whitebeard Pirates' second team, is Portka's D. Ace. I haven't seen anyone with a white beard before. Oh, then I'll keep looking for Ace. Wait. Straw Hat Luffy, who are these people around you? Why is there an old man with a navy? Oh, they are Ivankov, Lightning, Croctor, Shurhei, and Carl is not a navy, he is the captain of the Rocks Pirates. Hiss, 2 7-armed seas. 2 Revolutionary Army cadres. No wonder Barrett said there are tough guys behind, so it's you. Yeah, everyone helped me save Ace. Bucky, are you going together? Together. I don't want to be with you. He must have been escorted to the Navy headquarters now. Should I go and die? Wait. Who do you think this old man is? Suddenly, Bucky froze. The captain of the Rocks Pirates, Carl. Carl. The Rocks Pirates. Bucky widened his eyes in disbelief and said, "Scare. Straw Hat Luffy, where did you find him?" At the 7th floor of the city prison, he was bound by countless chains. Hey. Luffy, you've saved a great person. Ah. A big shot. Bucky, do you know Grandpa Carl? Luffy and others were puzzled. They only know that the person rescued on the 6th floor is called Carl. As for Carl's background and so on, it's unclear. This is a very mysterious old man. I don't know him. But my former Captain Roger is right, but I can't forget it. I feel extremely regretful that I haven't fought with him. The Pirate King never forgets and feels regretful. Now, everyone was stunned. A pirate who can leave a lasting impression on the Pirate King is definitely not an ordinary person. However, everyone had never heard of the Rocks Pirates, nor had they heard of the character Carl. Who the hell is he? Everyone turned their gaze to Carl, who was sleeping on Luffy's back. Hey, Bucky, tell us about it. Bucky took a deep breath and fell into distant memories. He was an orphan from a young age, and after being picked up by Roger, he has been living on a ship, following Roger's pirate group, exploring great voyages and traversing the New World. Their reputation is spreading more and more widely. Their strength is also becoming stronger and stronger. One day, he curiously asked his incredibly powerful captain, "Is he the most powerful person on this vast sea?" Roger seemed to remember something and spoke with a somewhat depressed expression. The captain said that in this vast sea, there used to be a pirate group that traversed the New World without any enemies, and even the navy dared not be its sharpness. Their captain, Rocks, is undoubtedly the world hegemon. It is a super powerhouse that requires both oneself and Cap to work together to defeat. There are rumors that Rocks has a younger brother who is invincible and has unlimited strength, and his strength is not weaker than him. It is said that he is still constantly improving, and it is only a matter of time before he can surpass Rocks in the future. He felt regretful that he had no chance to confront this person. Bucky asked this little brother what's wrong. The captain said that many years ago, he disappeared from this world with the Rocks Pirates, but he didn't believe this person was dead. As he spoke, he smiled and spoke to him. If given the opportunity, he would definitely represent me in the future and witness this person's unparalleled charm. Suddenly, Bucky's heart surged with infinite curiosity, asking who this younger brother was. Roger said that the members of the Rocks Pirates called him God Carl. God Carl. After listening to Bucky's words, Luffy and others turned their heads to look at Carl, who was as thin as wood and as haggard as a tree, sleeping soundly, with a puzzled expression on their face. Is this person really a god? No, who is the master of this family? Who is the god of the family, with a lifeless appearance? Hey, is he really the person you mentioned? Can't you make a mistake? Scared. How could there be a mistake? When the captain said these things, he was super serious. Everyone fell silent for a moment, unsure of what to say. The contrast is too great. I've made a decision. Bucky suddenly shouted with a serious expression, "Straw Hat, I want to go with you to save Ace." Ah. Didn't you just be afraid of death and not go? No. I want to go. I want to use my eyes to take a look at the captain. He is a person who will never forget him until he dies, with unparalleled charm. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.